Hello, this is Yendor, the creator of Words of Yendor, the Steam Goth word puzzle adventure game. I'm going to play through now one of the preset adventures available in the demo. In the full game, the adventures are procedurally generated, plus you get to decide how challenging or easy you want the stories to be. In short, you can keep playing this game and discover something new every time. Okay, let's start. I'm going to choose this pre-configured adventure and then click Start New Game. This is the player customizer. In the full game, of course, as you can see here, there are a lot of aspects you can change about your character. But in this demo you can only choose the appearance, which is still different for each adventure. Let's begin the quest. Welcome to Words of Yendor. You are on a mission to find the lost word of Yendor. Its letters are hidden inside lesser words, which are scattered across 5 settlements in this Steam Goth world of amalgamated Steam Age technology and antediluvian sorcery. Travel through each settlement, one location at a time, progressing from the left to right. Each location offers 1, 2, or 3 encounters. The first encounter is always known, but you have to scout the rest if you would rather wish to enter one of those. You can only activate 1 encounter per location. There are various types of encounters with different events and consequences. The last encounter in each settlement is always a duel with the local master villain who possesses something very valuable to you. On this welcome screen you will also find some random tips that can help you become more comfortable while playing. Let the adventure begin. So we start in Belfast. Here the first location offers only a single encounter, which is Rescue. Become a hero. Solve a hostage situation either by paying the ransom or defeating the kidnapper in a word duel. Let's activate this encounter. It came as a complete surprise, but fate has dealt you an impossible hand of cards. You are the only hope of saving the hostage. If you can quickly defeat the captor by succeeding in a turn-limited duel, the hostage will be rescued unharmed. You cannot afford to pay the demanded ransom of 25 gold. Because I don't have any gold at all. Leaving the hostage to the whims of the captor will surely mean the loss of an innocent life. This might harm your confidence, despite knowing there are limits to your abilities. I'm going to try and rescue the hostage. And this is the word duel challenge. This is my character, and this is my opponent, who is a vile kidnapper who has 10 points of health and 2 points of defense. I have 15 health and 4 points of defense. Here we have a bunch of letters. Both of us have to use these letters to compose valid English words, and I can see here that my opponent has already composed, because they are always composing first, a 4-letter word. A tooltip provides some estimations about the probable attack, but remember that at this stage this is really just an estimation. Here I have my own word composer, which currently can take up to 6 letters. And if I create a word of at least 5 letters, then the 5th letter is going to add +1 to my attack score and also an extra defense, which is always appreciated. You can extend your word composer capacity and get more boosted slots as special rewards, or by visiting an encounter called the Armory. Now, I need to come up with a word, and because this is a duel to death, the word should be as strong as possible. Let's see. Author. Notice that some letters generate these purple shields. Take a look at the tier values in the bottom right corners of the letters. The tier 2 letters generate a single purple shield, and the tier 4 letters, if we had any, will generate 2 shields. These purple shields will restore my defense as the fight goes on. Let's just see what's going to happen. Good! My attack was able to seriously harm the vile kidnapper, but she is not yet defeated. Her next word is only 3 letters long, which is a good sign. And my retort would be... crowd. It contains letters that provide extra defense. Keep in mind, you need purple shields to restore defense. This was enough. Great. You have defeated the nefarious criminal in a duel of wits and eloquence, and managed to rescue the hostage. Your valiant actions are celebrated by the grateful locals. Honor is gratified. I received 5 experience points. Let's move on. The second location starts with rumors. Scouting becomes easier for the rest of Belfast. All target words are revealed at scouting challenges. Now, what is a scouting challenge? We can see here that there is another encounter, but it is still hidden, so I need to scout it. Scouting happens here in these letter grid challenge puzzles. You need to know that the target word is hidden by default, and I need to compose a word with these letters and match or exceed the target word's score. I can start with any letter on the grid, and then I have the freedom to select immediate neighboring letters in any direction, forming a word as I go. Let's see. This puzzle should be easy. I only need to beat a 3-letter word. But I'm also trying to pick a word with a high score. There are always several words available on the grid. I only have to find them. Gates. It's worth 9 points. And I had to beat get, which is only worth 5 points. And I get the score difference as clues points. Experience and clues points are extremely important in this game. Now, I can choose between the Scouted Duel, which is a preferably non-lethal sporting word duel for honor and rewards, or the rumors. Since we have just had a word duel at the rescue, let's just go with the rumors. Vagrants, beggars and tramps are usually distrustful of strangers, but a few kind words persuade them to help you with information they do not usually give away. I have gained the rumors, which is explained here. Being well informed is as if like having a map of the future. The target word is revealed at scouting. Next, again we have a single encounter, a merchant. Buy and sell consumables and equipables. Convert curios to gold. Simply put, items can be purchased and sold here. Feel free to browse what's available for sale and check how much gold you would get if you got rid of what you already own. If you have collected curios, here is where you can sell them with no questions asked. Except I don't have any money, so let's just go window shopping. Consumables. Consumables appear here on my tool belt, But as you can see, I lack the money to buy any. If I hover my mouse over any item, I can read about them. Or I can sell consumables I own. I can learn more about these by opening my inventory. I can also take a look at the available equipables. These are useful passive items, and there is no limit to how many equipables I can carry. As always, more information is available in tooltips, and I encourage you to find synergies. Moving on. This next location has 3 encounters. The first one is a museum. Inspect the displayed curios, or try to steal some if you are so inclined. And probably I am. Thanks to rumors, the target word has been revealed at scouting. Red is also easy to beat. I can make a good score difference here. And order is a good response. A library. Spend clues for researching blueprints and recipes. But first, rumors remain active in this settlement, so I know both the target word and the score I have to meet. I can just find the word risk here, trying to optimize my efforts. But it seems that I got lucky, cause here's why: risky. Haha. It's a much better word. I have some choices here, but the best would still be, in this case, the museum. Alleviating stress is essential for keeping mental integrity. Marveling at the exhibited items inspires the discouraged and yearning mind. You think to yourself, an unscrupulous person could easily steal a valuable item. The question is, am I an unscrupulous person? Course I am. You have obtained an exhibition item, Shadow of Withered Flowers. You might be able to steal something else. Let's take a look at what we have here. Shadow of Withered Flowers. This is a curio. It is impossible to carry shadows like objects, yet here they are, and here they remain. Well, strictly speaking, curios are a bit like money. You can sell them at merchants, and usually you can obtain them at museums, but there are other locations and encounters where you can find them. Curios also tell unique and often mysterious story seeds. Oops, the second time I wasn't lucky enough because I was caught in my attempt to steal. Wanted by authorities, you change your mind and leave before someone apprehends you. Wanted by authorities is explained as: there is a reason why decent people shun criminals. You had better avoid attracting attention in Belfast or suffer the consequences. But would society forgive a hero, one wonders? This location starts with a treasure where you get gold, no tricks. But let's learn more about the second, still hidden encounter. Seven points is the word score that I have to reach. And paint. Sounds like an ideal word. A mansion. a meeting place for the movers and shakers of society in contact with the most exclusive strata. This sounds fancy, but I do know that because I am being wanted by authorities and these distinguished people are very picky, I'd better avoid this place. So let's just get the treasure. Cutting through a desolate countryside, you spot a battered hidden box which contains some gold. A typical forgotten buried treasure, all yours for the taking. And the well-earned respect of society for having rescued the hostage further enhances this reward in a mysterious but very welcome manner. 6 gold. And now, this is the Master Villain's hideout. This is where the ultimate duel takes place for the next stolen word. Despite feeling uncertain, you have persevered in your investigation and through your clever deductions and careful evaluation of the results, have managed to locate the secret hideout of the local Master Villain who holds an elusive lesser word of Yendor. Here you have but one goal, to defeat your opponent in a deadly duel of piercing, clashing, and thundering exchange of words performed with ruthless precision and dramatic elocution to recover the stolen word. Without hesitation, you spring into action. And this is going to be a duel, fought until death. You dare to call me that? I demand satisfaction. We are already familiar with the rules of duel. Let's then think about what word would be best to defeat this Master Villain. I would say record. 11 points, a bunch of purple shields. And our opponent is still alive, despite having said roast. Okay. What should be the next word? It looks like castle. And, by the way, if you just keep hovering over this submit button, we get this detailed tactical overview that explains the upcoming attack. Let's see. Cats. Thankfully, that's not too bad for me. You have bested the Master Villain of Belfast in a duel of wits and eloquence. The usurped lesser word of Yendor is hidden in a secret, locked compartment nearby. I got a bunch of rewards, experience, clues, and gold. So let's unlock and search the secret compartment. This puzzle is called a showdown. Each row contains one word, and the letters have been scattered by swapping neighbors with each other. The letter backgrounds provide guidance as to the letters' expected positions. The backgrounds can be green, brown, or gray. Green tiles are already where they should be, in the correct row and correct position. Brown tiles indicate that the letter is in the expected row, but its position is not right. A gray background is shown when a letter is not even in the correct row. And as I mentioned, the letters have to be returned by swapping. So, first of all, oh, by the way, one more important thing. These chain letters are unmovable and will remain stationary. Which means that these tiles are completely isolated on this board, and since this C is indicated as not being in the right row, I can be absolutely certain that it belongs here. And yes, it became green, and I had to pay the price for the swaps. I can also know that these letters are not in the correct rows, so I should swap them. And I got lucky as one of the letters became green too. It is also indicated that this N doesn't belong here, even though the row is already full of letters. This means that this N has to go somewhere here. This N cannot go here because this area is completely locked away by these two chained tiles. But these letters up here should be moved around. You also should notice that brown tiles have rotating crosshair symbols in the background. The symbol's size indicate how far a letter is from its closest desired position in this row. This letter P, for example, is pretty close to where it should be because its background crosshair is large. While this L and M should be further away. What I should do is I should just swap these. Okay. And I have noticed that the background symbol of this L is now smaller, so this word has to end with an L. But please notice we also have an L at the end of the first row. And the N would go here, making console. Now I have to swap these. But look, this L has become gray now. So I am lucky because I can safely swap this L here. What just happened is that I ran out of experience and clues that I must pay for swaps. And I would have to pay with my health, but because as long as one of the swap tiles becomes or stays green, the swap was for free. That's why you should try and accumulate as many experience and clues points as possible, but don't forget that if you run out of them, swaps will cost health unless you can keep or make a swap tile green. Moving the N here, that wasn't pleasant. We are making progress. For solving a word, I am rewarded with some experience, clues, and I gain back 1 health. As well as 1 teleport swap charge. Teleport swaps enable me to swap any unchained tiles on the board. They don't have to be immediate neighbors. The cost for swapping is constantly increasing, and currently my next swap will cost 6 experience and 6 clues. There are consumables that can help slow down the increase in swap prices, but unfortunately I don't have any in my inventory. These letters up there look scary and I don't want to sacrifice too many health, so I'd better be very careful. Complex. This is a complex situation and it's also the solution. I only need to swap these letters. I have to teleport these too. And then this completes the second word, solving the riddle. You have discovered a new lesser word of Yendor, console. After clashing with the master villain of Belfast, you return to the mysterious dark chamber, where you can take one of these offerings as a reward for your accomplishments. I can either choose increase dual word composer capacity to 7 or register scout word composer slot 1 bonus. The dual word composer capacity is shown first here, and the scout word composer is below that. So let's get better at scouting. And with that, I'm now in the second of the 5 settlements. It starts with a mansion, and since my status flags have been cleared, I can enter and see what happens. In the grand halls of the rich and powerful, chandeliers cast a lavish glow as glasses of champagne are raised in toast. Gourmet delicacies are served on silver platters, and polite conversations about nothing in particular and everything of importance fill the air. Meanwhile, the well-to-do indulge in games of bezique and casino, pretending to enjoy poetry recitals and ballroom dancing. But make no mistake, for beneath the surface lies a web of backstabbing and ruthless intrigue. You didn't notice when or how, but an eerie invitation was slipped into your pocket. It just says, "We must get affiliated next time." Signed, Dr. Eliquis. Let's take a look at these status changes. The eerie invitation is a negative status effect. Maybe you have used your first Beer's word already. That was allowed. Maybe you just received this invitation by chance. But any further attempt to use a Beer's word would only gain the expected assistance if you delivered this invitation. But where? To whom? I was also granted diplomatic immunity. Having patrons in high places can get you out of trouble, regardless of being innocent or corrupt. Well, this could be useful. Duel or scout. We should scout this because it's almost always recommended to do so. It looks like mind. Excellent. Ha! Here I can choose a duel or a duel. Both are sporting duels. So let's read what this is all about. You are challenged to a sporting duel of wits and eloquence. According to tradition, this is not a Mortal Kombat, thus you, the challenge party, may choose the terms. The duel ends when either side loses their wagered health or yields. During the initial sparring turns, if any, attacks are restricted and can only cause one health loss regardless of the actual damage inflicted. This safety measure is lifted after the sparring phase. The amount of experience reward is based on the total word scores of both duelists. Be careful. It is very dishonorable to inflict excessive injury, so killing your opponent is considered an undignified, despicable act. It is also expected to engage in at least one turn of exchange to salute your opponent's honor, therefore yielding in the very first turn has serious chivalrous consequences. You are committed to observe these noble customs. I have 3 choices here. I can wager 25% of my health without any sparring turns for double reward. Or I can say I want to wager half of my health, I want to have a single sparring turn for normal rewards. Or 80% of my total health, 2 sparring turns, and just half the reward. Let's just go with the first option for double reward. We are dueling with a daring gladiator. Our objective here is to cause just as much damage to our opponent, which hurts them enough but won't kill them. Honor and tradition are greatly respected in this world, often to the very extremes, where losing honor can lead to dire consequences, even to the point of self-inflicted defeat. She is wagering 8 points of her total of 10 health, and I am wagering 4 out of my total of 15. This is not a truly easy fight because of the small health margin of my opponent. 8 points plus 2 will be absorbed by her defense, which means that maybe a 10-point word would be ideal for me. Because she also might have used some tier 2 letters, which would give her extra defense. Currently I have no way of knowing this. I need a word that removes most of her wagered health, but still leaves her alive. How about drive? 11 points, it should still be safe. Yes, perfect. We have triumphed in a duel of wits and eloquence, as our challenger has yielded. Honor is satisfied. And I got this duelist status effect, which is: people are inspired by your courage and perseverance. Some may choose to express their admiration not just as a compliment, but in a more direct, spendable way. Uh-oh, a tomb. You may find gold and valuables, but may get hurt or cursed. Fedora and whip are not required. Tombs are one of the most dangerous encounters. I would never go into a tomb without scouting for an alternative. A four-letter target word usually isn't too challenging, but there are many tier 4 letters on this board, so this could get tricky. Never. Is that an omen? Never skip scouting unless circumstances dictate otherwise. A suspicious accident. Solve a classic hangman word puzzle to overcome a dangerous situation. Sounds dangerous, but this would still be my preference, as I would get both experience and clues. Traversing the steep, rocky slopes of this mountainous region used to take weeks, but modern technology has made it possible to enjoy the stunning views from a steam-powered airship in just a few days. However, upon disembarkation, the gondola, which is lowered on strong chains, starts shaking violently. Looking up, you realize that one of the chain links has broken, and the others seem to be on the verge of giving way. You must act quickly to avoid disaster. This target word starts with a P, and usually it's helpful if I know the first letter, but still. I should start my guesses with the most common letter, E. And there are two E's in this word. Let's also check S. Nope. A. No. R. Yes. Then maybe I. No. L. No. I still have two misses. N. Yes, the word has an N. Ah, it has to have... Yeah, okay. It's pro. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. C. It's Provence. Was this really a random accident, or is it reasonable to assume some kind of attempt at sabotage, as circumstances were utterly suspicious? However, the exact nature of the event has to remain unexplored. Suffice to say, you have successfully solved the problem, but should you expect more misfortune to come? And I have gained 6 experience and just as much clues here. Which reminds me, here in the word log I can look up the words, so this is a former province of southeastern France. Very good. A library, where I can spend clues for researching blueprints and recipes. Blueprints and recipes would go here, and I already have 2 recipes, a lexicoscope and a word composer capacity booster. As you might have noticed, I also have this as a consumable. So recipes can be used to craft consumables, and blueprints can be used to manufacture equipables. But first I have to obtain them somehow, for example in a library. But let's not skip scouting. The word I should try is curse. Splendid. Investigation progress. Or library. Well, investigation progress would just give me extra clues, but I already have enough. Although the quest is urgent and you dare only spend a limited time among these books, you still hope to learn more about the wonders of the world by studying these tomes. With some luck and dedicated research, new blueprints and recipes can be obtained here. In case you realize you already possess a design, only half of the effort will be wasted. Blueprints and recipes allow you to craft equipables at factories and consumables at laboratories, which is cheaper than purchasing them. This is what I know about the researchables in this library. Toolbelt Extender, which I can research for 10 clues, allows more consumables to be carried. It would open up all the slots in my toolbelt on the left. Whereas the Abundantia amulet, which is named after a Roman goddess, during a scouting challenge, each natural tier 4 or tier 5 letter used in your word yields 1 or 5 gold, respectively. Although both of these equipables are very useful, I won't research them just now. A laboratory. This is where I will be able to craft some consumables, since I do have some recipes. But let's check out the scouting puzzle before that. Bless. Rescue. I have already shown this encounter in this demo, therefore let's activate the laboratory instead. A dim, damp, stinking and cold cellar, its brick walls stained with saltpeter and sulfur, where alchemists hoped to discover the secret of turning lead into gold. But you have a more pragmatic reason to be present. Here you can craft consumables if you have the recipes for them. A somewhat dangerous process, but it is still cheaper than purchasing the goods. Warning: keep your eye on the danger gauge. As you keep on crafting, the chance for unpleasant, even dangerous consequences increase. Okay, start crafting. I have lexicoscope and word composer capacity booster recipes. The lexicoscope suggests a long Victorian word with the highest possible natural score, but does not optimize for defense. Sounds really useful, and it is so cheap and the danger level is absolutely zero. I should just craft it. And spending 1 gold, I do have a lexicoscope on my toolbelt now. The lexicoscope can only be activated in duels. Let's craft another one. The danger has increased slightly, but we are still fine, so craft one more. Now it's a bit angry. Let's not risk it and carry on. The Master Villain's hideout has been reached. Through your skilled deduction and thorough examination of your investigative findings, you have managed to locate the Master Villain's covered hideout and uncover their possession of a highly sought-after lesser word of Yendor. Here you have but one goal: to defeat your opponent in a deadly duel of piercing, clashing and thundering exchange of words, performed with ruthless precision and dramatic elocution to recover the stolen word. In a flash, you're in motion, ready to face your opponent head on. Luis, I have long suspected that you are the puppet master behind this scheme. I have something to tell you. Let me get my handy lexicoscope and say something really frightening to you. Favor. A really strong word. But I do need this power because she has a strong defense comparable to mine. Fur. Excellent. I have caught this villain almost speechless. I have one more thing to say about your character. I would like to explain here that the lexicoscope can be used once per dual turns, and I like to interpret the suggested words as intel, shedding light on some of the villain's shameful secrets. I can submit this to destroy my enemy. You have bested the master villain of Ethelbrook. In a fair fight, I might add. Unlock and search. Start the showdown. We have already discovered the word console from the previous showdown. And it's on this board somewhere. And the proven opening strategy is to look at the chained letters and try to locate the rows of the known words. It's not hard to tell. Console has to go here. Let's move its letters to their positions. This C is much closer to where it should be. Therefore, I will have to move this one down, maybe somewhere in the bottom right corner. I also need to consider the increasing swap prices. The O is almost in the correct column, but I need to bring that U from the bottom row up here. There is a letter U closer, but that's a chained letter. The number of chained tiles in a row usually correlates with the length of the word, but even teleport swaps cannot move these letters. Let's finalize these letters. And now I can complete console. Let's put this E back where it was. And the C needs to go somewhere here. We can swap these. Perfect. How about these two? Swap the A and the V as well. Can I swap these, I wonder? Almost. I'm curious about this E even further. Thank you. And this A wants to go down. And with this L, duel is completed. Only one more word is left to solve here. I'm looking at the brown crosshair sizes. Fix these A's first. Let's remember we have two teleports. Avoidance. Very good. You have discovered a new lesser word of Yendor, duel. I am offered either a Voivod crown equipable, or I can increase my maximum health by 2 to 17. Well, I think I should take the Voivod crown, because this makes the traveling vagabonds encounters completely safe and profitable. After making your choice, you have left the Dark Chamber and traveled to Maidenhead, the third of the 5 settlements, eager to fulfill your next objective. Congratulations and thank you for trying out the demo of Words of Yendor. In the full game, your journey continues as you progress to the next settlement, and after the final showdown, the ultimate meaning of the Word of Yendor will be revealed. However, in this demo, we have an exciting secret to share with you. While Words of Yendor uses procedural generation to craft unique adventures and puzzles for each playthrough, it also holds a personalized resolution, specifically tailored to you as the player. How is this achievable? The answers await you in the full game. Don't forget to add Words of Yendor to your wishlist for even more thrilling adventures. And with that, this demo stops here as it contains only the first 2 settlements for each preset adventure. But as we are reminded here, this demo has other adventures for you to try. This green checkmark confirms that I have played through the beginning of this preset story. But I can always retry it and make different choices to see where different strategies take me. As for the other pre-configured adventures, I hope you will check out all of them, because we have just scratched the surface here and even the demo has a lot more to offer. I hope you will have a lot of fun. And thank you for watching this playthrough. Please remember to put this game on your wishlist. See you next time. Bye bye.